K1T.
Every last one of them broke for Biden?
There was not a Trump vote in there. They all vote, and you do not have a place in any state. Maybe Dixville's Notch, where there were 5 voters at the first thing, and they all 5 voted for Biden. Maybe there, but not when you have something of 138,000. You don't all break that way, and it still shouldn't be linear because you have so many counters that are counting across the way that they're all tallying and reporting, and you don't bunch them in and report one thing. So that doesn't look right for the process. It certainly does not look right for the fact that there is no place of 138,000 where you don't have both candidates represented. I mean, even the bluest city, you're still going to have somebody voting for the other party. And so these two things, it would not be a tight race right now had this not occurred. And this looks like it occurred maybe 4:30 in the morning. This is about 6:30 in the morning.
6:23 a.m.
There you go.
Here.
Well, 6:23 here.
There.
Yeah, looks like about 4:30 maybe that it shot up here. So those are the 2 charts. And now you hear that Nevada has shut down. They're suddenly not counting anymore. So there's some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, man. Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Pow. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. The big probe. What is the headline today? It looks like the big probe, right? The big AG probe. The big AG probe. Mr. Barr getting off his fat ass in a last-ditch effort to pronounce Trump the President of the United States, saying that there's irregularities. Oh, boy, wow. And COVID-19 now gives you mental illness, according to the scientists, according to the new studies, new important research that you must hear in your free country, in your country full of free speech. And free ideas. Right? Remember that country that we used to have about free ideas and free speech? Well, now the medical profession wants you to know that COVID-19, based on their research, causes mental illness in 20% of the cases. Holy shit. Wow. And you're really not allowed to talk about this stuff anymore because there's just YouTube is striking, strike, community strike this, strike that. Remove this, strike that. So I woke up this morning to another 8 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new community strikes, but because they occur while one strike is pending, they just take your video down. So 8 videos disappear on YouTube. Again, and I'll give you the titles. I'll show you the foul, the unthinkable things that Conte was saying on YouTube that merits strike. We're living in a time of free speech is not allowed. Free speech, speaking your mind and having one having an opinion is no longer allowed. On social media, where are you going to go? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all censored, heavily censored, shadow banning, even if you could squeak through for a while. And then what they do is they go back and they look at your catalog of videos, thousands of videos. I don't know how many videos I have, probably like 2,000 videos I've made, right? And they go back and they hunt and they scour through your collection. You know what an idea that I might use for YouTube is I might start not titling anything, but just say Marcus Conte News #1. We'll start tomorrow. #1, and just keep #2, #3, #4, so that the titles, maybe the title itself is what causes the flag. Without the title, maybe the videos won't get flagged. So we might try that. So good morning, everybody in the chat. Vinny D. Martini in the house. On the wrench, Sterling Price, my brother from a different mother, is here. Champs, Leap Year, Terry Miller, George's son. We never found out who George is, and we might not even be here and find out who George's son is, who George is. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining me, and we will dive. Let's dive right in. We were listening to some clip that says Joe Biden miraculously gets 138,000 votes at 4:30 a.m. Trump gets 0 in Wisconsin. So from out of nowhere, this alleged report. There's going to be a lot of probes. But they got to get busy on this, right? Fucking William Barr's got to get busy. They got to start calling out this stuff, right? Better late than never. At least even if Trump loses, at least we put some. If William Barr, because he's going to get fired. William Barr's gone. He knows he's done, right? There's no way Joe Biden's going to keep William Barr in place. He's gonna. So William Barr and Trump, they got to go down in flames, right? Because the essence of it is election fraud. That we don't have free and fair elections in this country. Overwhelming evidence to suggest that is the case. And if Trump's legacy is anything, it could be that. He could. I just don't think Trump has it in him. I don't think Trump is. I've never felt that Trump was really for the people. I think he's for himself and what makes him look good. And the example was that when it was voter election fraud in 2016, Trump never really called it out until it turned on him. While it was going on between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, to him that was a joke. It was a big joke. Look at Bernie Sanders. Look how stupid he is. He allows them to cheat him. Now they're cheating Trump, and now it's a big issue. Now it's a constitutional crisis. Right? So I never really trusted Trump in that respect to set precedents, to pursue truth. But anyway, so that's what that was all about. MarcusConte.com. Again, I don't know how long we're going to be on YouTube. The strikes are coming fast and furious. But if I do go down, we might be a smaller channel for a while on D-Live maybe, or BitChute or Patreon, or I don't know, whatever, right? Somewhere else, some other platform. Right now we're holding in there. Well, I'll change my name for a while. I'll be somebody else on YouTube. It seems that there's a team of people, floating around online that deliberately do this sort of thing. That, they try to strike your channel, but whatever. That's really not on the people doing it. That's on YouTube for believing idiots, and extortionist kind of people, for allowing those kind of people to do what they're doing. So this particular strike on the main channel ends in 2 days. But looky, look what I woke up to. Look what I woke up to, right? There's 8 new strikes. I just want to tell you about it, right? So community guidelines. Look at the titles. If you look at here, I'll try to blow it up a little bit for you. Try to blow. Rebel youth control New York City streets for 5th straight day of riots and looting. Trump calls in military. You remember that video I did? Violates our YouTube policy. Really, for what? Content that explicitly disputes the efficiency of local health authorities. Okay. So what else? Right? That's one. Here's another one. Now playing March 17th rigged election results. Right? So this is going all the way back to March. All right? What did I do? What's the again? Anything dealing with WHO is banned from speaking about. Right? 1984. That's what we are. I'll give you another one. Oh, the other way. That's 2. Here's 3. All right. Ooh, this one's a whole strike for a 9/11 Ground Zero walk and talk. Remember when I walked around Ground Zero live? They deleted my live video. What pricks, right? All right. How this affects your channel. You recently received a strike. So this is a strike on your content and cannot currently do things like upload, post, and live stream. Since you're already in a penalty period, we're not giving you another strike. Oh, thank you very much. Wow, it's very, very kind of you. Here's another one. Same thing. Julian Assange. Don't forget him. How does it affect your what did I do? What? Content glorifying or inciting violence. glorifying and inciting violence. That's what that does, really. Here's another strike. Patreon kills 2 Antifa in Kenosha. The Patriot. Patriot, not Patreon. Patriot. This was the story of Mr. I forgot his name already. The kid who shot the Kenosha shooter. The guy who shot the 2 pricks that tried to shoot him. Right? Shoot me, nigga. Right? All the history is disappearing. YouTube is fastly trying to make the history go away. White privilege alert. Black gang of 4 kills white college freshman in Manhattan. The Tessa Majors story. Right? Talking about Tessa Majors. Glorifying and inciting violence. No, I'm pointing it out, you morons. Racist Joe Biden shames whites with creepy new campaign ad. I can't say that. Not allowed. Pandemic observations from the eye of the storm. No observations allowed. No. So that's 8 of them. Is there more? No. Oh, and this is Mark Brown. Gave me $5. Thank you, Mark Brown, man. Appreciate that shit. So that's where we are right now, right? That's where. Oh, Rittenhouse. Thank you very much. I'm sorry about that. I fucking forgot Kyle's name. Kyle Rittenhouse was the shooter. Thank you, Sterling. I just told Marcus about this. So anyway, so here's the results, right? Here's the results. It's the same as yesterday with 99% of the reporting in North Carolina. They still haven't called it for Trump. And with Georgia, with 99% of the vote in, they still haven't called it for Biden. So those are the numbers. Those are the official numbers that they want you to believe. Yeah. The Electoral College is going to vote in a month, a week, or 2 months, or whatever it is. All right. Trump is going to file 10 lawsuits. The AG Barr is going to sue this one and probe that one. Can they turn it around? Can they turn popular opinion around? Mainstream media is actively, working to convince America that Trump lost, right? And you think that that's an easy boat to turn around? All of the mainstream media is actively convincing people that Trump is done. Trump is out, right? The deep state has turned on him. And that's that, right? Do you really think in your heart of hearts at this point in the game that Trump can turn the boat around even if he is a president? No. It looks like Congress and the Senate are now going to view him as a lame duck president, right? And just move on, right? It's sad but true, but show me the math doesn't work for Trump anymore. So forget about the math. We don't even have to look at this anymore. Unless Trump goes back and tries to flip Pennsylvania, if he tries to go back and flip Arizona, if he argues that Wisconsin and Michigan were fixed, Nevada a fix, right? If he goes back and tries to do all that thing, he stands a chance. But can he legally get the votes to flip? I don't know. I fail to see it. But so how does Wall Street treating it? Wall Street absolutely loves it. Look what happened. We're at a new breakout. Dow Jones Industrial Average is poised to go. Oh, we're open right now. What's the what happened? Let's find out. Oh boy, we're up 218 points in live trading right now. So the Dow, the high, if you recall, with Trump was 29,348, and now we're at 29,396. The Dow Jones Industrial Average just now, in this hour, has hit a all-time high, a breakout from the bottom, from the big dip. You remember the Big Dipper when it broke 20,000? We're now up 10,000 points. Holy shit! And Wall Street loves Joe Biden. Why do they love Joe Biden? Because he's in their court. He's in there. He's not going to give him any problem. Nothing's going to change. He's not going to challenge them. They're going to go right back to the old way of doing business, all right, where Wall Street dictates everything. The banks control everything. So So there you have it. Trump had his chance. Trump was going to drain the swamp. Was going to rein in the corruption. Trump was going to institute, antitrust law. All that shit. Every executive order that Trump instituted or wrote is going to get thrown in the garbage deliberately, just like Trump threw Obama's executive orders in the garbage. Biden is going to do the same thing with Obama sitting right next to him in the chair laughing their ass off that Biden got the presidency back for both of them. Hillary Clinton will be in the room. They're going to have a big old funny time. You got Bernie Sanders down the hall. They're going to have a big fucking funny time now. Everybody laughing. They're going to laugh at Trump. Trump's going to become the laughing stock is what they're doing. I hate to bring it up. But this is where you are right now. I mean, this is where we are right now. How do you turn it around? You tell me. I don't know. I don't know. What am I? I'm just some city guy who moved to the country, man, looking out my window. Looking out my beautiful window, meeting the new cats in the neighborhood. Oh, there's a fascinating woman across the street. Oh, man, her name is Mary. And Mary has been living on my block for 54 years in the house. And she told me everything. She told me the history of the house and the block and the neighborhood and it's just fascinating conversation. Fascinating woman. Very, very different than what I'm used to, hanging out with the junkies in Washington Square Park, sitting on the ground, legs crossed. It's a little different. But I could do that. I can do this. I mean, I say I'm very mutable. Conte I could sit with anybody, really. I could talk to anybody and identify, right? I'm no, and when a 40-something year old looking guy, I'm in my 50s, but I don't look it, right? When a younger looking guy can make with long hair and earrings and a New York accent can make friends with a 80-year-old woman from the suburbs and have a conversation, there lies some interesting stuff. And what was interesting about her life? She talked about her children. She talked about raising 3 boys and her life in her house. And I just found it, for me, I find it striking because, what was I going to tell her? If I'm honest, I'll say, hey, Mary, you know what? That's a fascinating story. But once upon a time, right, I was in a band called Barney Rubble and the Constable. And I was on the stage at the Limelight in front of 1,500 people, squirting them down with a dick guitar, singing about dick and pussy. Right? You hear that, Mary? That's where I was, man. That shit is true, right? That was a true fucking story. That's not the story you share with Mary, but it certainly, it's who I am, It's like, can I relate to suburban Mary, 80-year-old suburban Mary, raising 3 kids, talking about when one son gave his girlfriend the ring in the kitchen, and she talked about that story. It's just fascinating. People fascinate me. I don't know if someone like Mary would ever come on screen and talk. I don't want to burn my bridges yet. I asked a few people, would you like to talk on camera, and everybody says no. You'd like to be on an interview? They all say no. So what I do is I just turn the camera on and I bring them into the frame. They'll either say no, shut it off, or they'll just talk to you. But anyway, man, Mary was an exceptional woman. So Dow Jones Industrial Average, loving Wall Street Joe. Wall Street Joe, shit's going to go right back to the way it was. China will take a breath, big, deep breath now. China will get to all our cheap shit again. Trade Biden will put the trade right back in place. And, all that promise of bringing the jobs home to America, igniting the Rust Belt and manufacturing, it's all a fucking lie. It's all a fucking lie. It all goes right back to the way it was, right? And that's precisely what what Biden represents to Wall Street. So you can't make this one up. Many COVID-19 patients later develop mental illness. As if you couldn't get worse, right? Oh man, as if oh, Christian Lifetime, New York City. How's New York City going, by the way? Says Conte, civil war. Well, I don't know. You think so? I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. What kind of civil war is it? What are the Patriots going to do? You tell me. Patriots going to take to the streets armed and do what? What are they going to do? Overthrow the municipalities? If so, what are they waiting for? What are they waiting for? The election to be consummated? Antifa and the radical left is not waiting at all, and they initiated it before the decisions were made, right? And I don't know. Okay, if you say so, I'll report it. You want me to instigate it? You want me to initiate it? A civil war? I can't do that. I can only report. That's all I'm going to do. What do I see out my window? I don't see it. I don't see the majority of people really that pissed off about losing Trump. I just don't see it. I mean, where should I look? Tell me where to look. Where do I look? I look online. I look out the window. I walk around. I read every publication. I read 100 articles a day sometimes. Just show me where it's happening, and I'll agree that a civil war is imminent. But for now, Joe Biden is imminent. And you better put your fucking mask on, because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris say it's a mandate, man. So you better get used to covering your face, man, because those fuckers say so, man. And did you know that COVID-19 is so bad, not only will it get you cut offline for speaking about it, but it'll give you mental illness. Mental fucking illness. What kind of mental illness? 20% of COVID-19 coronavirus patients later develop a new mental illness. Big Pharma loves this. Hey, Joe Biden, fucking COVID-19 Joe, mask pushing Joe, vaccine pushing Joe. They love this shit, man. They love it. Big Pharma loves this, right? And now Big Pharma will say, oh yeah, mental illness. They'll have a whole new brand of treatment, right? Let's treat the mental illness related to COVID-19. And what's causing that mental illness? What is it? Is it organic in the virus? Something organic in the virus that causes you to be mentally ill? Is that what it is? Or is it the fear? It's like the AIDS thing. I told you this when it started, that you would have symptoms of this, that you would have people would die. People would get scared to death, just like they did in the 80s with AIDS. When they were told they had a deadly disease, they suddenly died. Right? That's the same thing with COVID-19. I told you that. Now, whether it's true or not is not the point. That's how the human psyche works. That's how mind works. Mind says, oh shit, I'm going to die. I'm coughing. And then they cover their face, and rather than go out and exercise and take care of themselves, they get sicker and sicker. They walk around half breathing, and they don't treat their illnesses. They don't go out, right? Because they're listening to some jerk off that says, don't go out, stay at home. No, go the fuck out. Go out. Run the hills. Where I am, man, there's a lot of hills, man. Oh, shit, I was sucking wind yesterday running. Fucking wow, but clean air, really clean. Clean air, quiet. Running in the streets, you can't get hit by a car. Very fewer cars, much fewer cars. But anyway, so 20%, 1 in 5 people that have patients with coronavirus. So if you're a patient, what does a patient mean? You know, of the millions and millions of people that coronavirus passes through, that catch this variant of the flu, that 20%, so that accounts to, I don't know, millions of people are now going to have mental illness. But what kind of mental illness? The most common disorder experienced by COVID-19 survivors within 90 days of their diagnoses are anxiety, depression, and insomnia. Why is that new? Why is that a new mental illness? What is new about depression, insomnia, and anxiety after being told that you have a terminal illness? Because that's what the mainstream media is telling you. That's what the CDC is telling you. They're telling you you've got a deadly disease. Coronavirus, COVID-19, is fucking deadly. Right? You can die from this shit. Even if it's a fraction of 1%, you can die. Right? So be fearful. Be full of anxiety. Be depressed. Right? So according to a study published in the Lancet Psychiatric Journal, so they're right now inventing a whole new brand, a whole new category of mental illness surrounding COVID-19. Just all you have to do if you want to find out how it's going to pan out, just go to 1986 when the medical profession totally dropped the ball on AIDS and started killing people with medications like AZT, isolating people, mistreating them, and convincing them that they were going to die, injecting them with drugs that were killing them, and convincing them that they were going to die because they had this deadly disease. And it turns out that it wasn't as deadly as we thought. It was the treatments that were causing the death. So people have been worried that COVID-19 survivors will be at greater risk of mental health problems, and our findings show this is to be likely, said Paul Harrison, a professor of psychiatry at the University of Oxford in Britain. So some British cocksucker, I don't know how much he's getting paid to do this, but he certainly... Let's look at his research. The study looked at the electronic health records of 62,000 coronavirus patients in the U.S. That's a big study, 62,000. Let's see. So the study group was twice as likely to suffer from a new mental illness than other groups of of patients, let's call them that, mental patients, during the same period. Twice as likely to suffer from new mental illness. So I guess when they say new, it's new to the patient, right? It's new. It's not a new illness. It's new to the patient. Now, the study was twice as likely to suffer from new mental illness. Blah, blah, blah. So 62,000 people, right? Oh, the cure. While I was reading this, it occurred to me what the cure for this is. You know what the cure for this is? Tell them it's not deadly. Tell the truth. Give the truth that there are millions and millions of cases, very small amount of death. Really no side effects, right? There's no lasting side effects that we can see. Of the tens of thousands of people, celebrities, the President of the United States, the governor from New Jersey, right? All the celebrities that we've seen, people like myself who likely had coronavirus. I mean, I'm mentally ill anyway, but before that, I was already like that. I was already like I am now. I'm no fucking crazier than I was then. I'm no crazier now than I was then. The point is that many, 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 many people contracted this brand of flu, and it passed through them. And but this is what you're forced to accept, because some jerk off, Paul Harrison in Britain at Oxford University, who probably got $1 million grant from the Gates Foundation to find it out. Right? That's how the research is rigged. If you don't believe it, I'm not going to do the homework because I know it to be true. But go and look at this research article and try to figure out who funded it. It's not always easy to figure out, but if you followed the money trail, I bet it would lead right back to the vaccine makers, the people that are pushing the narrative that COVID-19 is very bad and that you need a vaccine. You need to stay healthy. You need to take care of yourself, and of course, take care of others. So the study group was twice as likely to suffer from a new mental illness than the other group. Wow. So, in a very brief article, quote, "This is likely due to a combination of the psychological stressors associated with this new particular pandemic," at least they're honest, "and the physical effects of the illness. No evidence at all to suggest that any physical, that anything whatsoever in terms of these mental illnesses have anything to do with a physical, organic nature. The nature of the symptoms are psychological. Fear creates anxiety, depression, mood swings, What's the other ones? Insomnia. I can't sleep. I'm up all night thinking about I'm gonna fucking die. Oh my God, I got it. I got the bug. What will my aunt think? What will my neighbor think? I have COVID-19. I can't leave the house for 14 days. I stay in the house and I drive myself fucking crazy, even in my sleep, because I can't sleep. I get up in the middle of the night pacing like White Cat, like Granny Cat. Excuse me. Her name is now Granny Cat. Walking back and forth all night. Insomnia. I got some great Granny Cat videos. I'll show you soon. I haven't uploaded them yet, but I got like really nice ones of Granny Cat out on the lawn, walking around and shit. Fucking in the twilight, right, man? The cat's in a twilight. I'm so glad Granny Cat made it to our little home here with a backyard, and she could walk out on the grass. I'm so happy that I didn't have to bury her in Brooklyn. Maybe she'll live a year, maybe she'll live less, maybe she'll live more. I don't know. My fat black cat is having a great time. There's no more. He's not even fat anymore. He's running up and down stairs. He's happy. He's rolling around. He's always a foot away from me. Not right now. I don't know where he is. He's got a little seat right down here too. He sits behind us, right? Just behind me, and so everything's good. Everything's good on that end, right? And I'm just glad that I'm glad Granny Cat. Granny Cat's very important to me because the cat has been with me for 19 years through 7 or 8 apartments and I don't know 7 or 8 girlfriends and who the hell knows, and a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of cans of food went into that cat, and a lot of love, a lot of reciprocal love. I mean, I totally respect the nature of animals and I feel like this was the right thing to do, even for the cats, to get the hell out of a 1-bedroom apartment in a city, going down the fucking toilet, right? So anyway, man. So let's talk about the corruption. Here we go. Let's talk about AG Barr. AG Barr authorizes the DOJ probe of allegations of voting irregularities in 2020 election. Oh, wow. All right, YouTube, time to freeze us up. Let's see if we're buffering. I just said election rigging, right? So let's see. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody in the chat. We are moving right along here. What's up? Hey, Vandaluz here. Rhonda Church is here. Vidi Martini. Calito Braganti, Sleeping Beauty, Martin Grafida, Pathfinder 12 is here. TJ, leap year, flowers in her hair, Raymond Duncan, Weevil Girl, good morning, Weevil Girl, Jason Walsh, Calito, Bragante, Rampart. I see I'm getting red flash, so if there's a little freeze, I can't do anything about it. I think we're doing well. So let's dive into the AG Barr authorizing the DOJ probe of allegations of voting irregularities in 2020 election. Wow, better late than never. It's now November 9. We are a full 6 days past the election. Give me a 1 if you think that Trump and Barr can overcome the obstacle of turning this boat around, or number 2, that Trump is dead in the water, that all of the efforts will fall on deaf ears. Give me a 1 if you think Biden will be the next president and all of the legal battles are dead, or 2, Trump will prevail. We'll do a little survey. Survey says, because I am only you, and you are only me, and we are a happy family. So, Nate Duncan says 2, Buddha Girl 1, Sterling Price 1, Pathfinder 1, Cine Mini 1, George's Son 2. What did I say? 1 is Biden. Biden wins. 1. Yeah, I would say I guess I got to vote. I'm gonna say. I forgot what I was gonna say. 2. I'm sorry. One is that Trump prevails. Two is that Biden becomes the president. Right. I would say, based on the facts, I would have to say that. No, I didn't change it. What did I say? I can't remember. One is Trump. Two is Biden. Or one, I forgot, man. I'm so sorry, man. I forgot my own survey, man. Number one is Trump wins. Thank you. Number one is Trump wins. So most people seem to think Trump will win by to Biden. Thank you, Rampart. Thank you, Rampart. I'm gonna have to go with two. I just don't think I don't see a pathway for Trump to overcome. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I don't see how he legally turns the boat around without with all those states that have turned against him. I just don't see it. But we're going to root for him, of course. Right? That's just that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. And then we all have an opinion. You're entitled to your opinion here. No one's going to bash you for for having a different opinion, right? Opinions are good, right? It's when you're a dick and you're personally attacking me. Please, I get fucking personal attacked enough. YouTube is doing their part. Why do you got to attack me too? Right? Just let's have a civil conversation. Maybe we'll turn this into a night video. I'm a morning person. That's why I do this early in the morning. I get up very early. I just have other things to do. Like I'm painting, so I have I'm painting walls early in the morning because it's fun and it's interesting. So, but I'm mostly a morning person, and I would do a late night kind of thing if I can only find a way to be alive and be myself late at night after like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I get tired, man. I go to sleep at 10 o'clock. Right? But I get up at 6 o'clock. Sometimes I get up at 5 o'clock. Sometimes I'm up at 4:30. It's still dark, and I walk around, and I do my best thinking very early in the morning. And then by the time 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm ready to talk about it. That's just how I am. I meditate. Sometimes I go running. I used to run early in the morning, but now I run right after this is over. I'll go out on a run. But a late night sort of switching the narratives. Hey, listen, it's just a matter of time. YouTube has the gun to people like me's head, to my head, and it's just a matter of time before they pull the trigger, right? It's just free speech in this fashion, in this mode, is simply not allowed. And for example, people like H.A. Goodman don't really tell the truth. For the most part, his truth of 2016 is truth, but right now they're not telling the truth, or Sticks, Hex, and Hammer. That's a spin, right? Yeah, what they talk about is spin. But what I do is I see it as more of a commentary where this is what I see. This is what you all see, right? So. Yeah. I guess. Okay, we're back. Holy Buffy, the Stream Slayer. Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about buff every 15 seconds. It's buffering. This is what it is. It's an attack. We're not allowed to do this anymore. It's not feasible to continue in such a way anymore. But let's talk about the news. We'll try to squeeze it in. Attorney General Barr. Oh wait, I don't have any instruments here. I'll play guitar. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Intermission. We'll try to throw off the. I didn't tune this up. Buffer me. I'll buffer you. What are we supposed to do? Buffer me. I don't have a pick. Buffer me. I'll buffer you. acoustic guitar is sounding good today. Buffering is freedom. I like that. If you buffer me, you set me free, says Carlito Briganti. A buffer for a buff, a tooth for a tooth, says Bill West. You can buffer my shoe, says Martin Graffita. You can buffer me once, and shame on you, Truth Loops. Yeah, I'll take a poop, says Me So Hungry. I'll take a poop on you. You put your mask on, because they're coming for you. Yeah, man. Whoa. Holy shit, man. The buffer song. The buffer song just gets better and better, man. Get better and better. Buffer me, I'll buffer you. That's it, man. Thank you all for the lyrics, man. Thank you all for your lyrics, man. You just added that shit. You play it back, man. Tell me what I did, because I don't remember, man. I have no memory anymore, man. It's old age. Anyway, I'm just a singer, man. I'm just the mirror. As I said, I'm a mirror. That's all I am. So in a memo sent by Barr Monday evening, he said Justice Department prosecutors could investigate specific allegations of voter fraud before the election results are certified in December. What voter fraud? Voter fraud or election fraud? Is he not going to call out the establishment for the, again, parsing their words, right? Voter fraud versus election fraud. Because if you say there's voter fraud, you'll have to look at things like exit polling, which I covered yesterday. And it seemed to say that Trump actually got he actually got more of the vote, more of the actual vote tally than the exit polls suggested. All right, so we might have to talk about a lot of that. See, I'm all for a probe, but let's be honest about it. Let's find out what really happened, right? Or let's just call it quits now and let's move on to a real system of electioneering that works for everybody. Look, everybody in this country is accounted for. Everybody, in some form or another. You don't illegally vote. You don't really have a presence in America without someone knowing you're here. You buy stuff. You sign up for something online, right? You have a bank account, a phone number. Look, the NSA knows you're here. We know you're here. Why not just give everybody who's a legal citizen, has a citizenship, the right to vote? And make it mandatory, like in Australia. Why are you so afraid? Oh, people who never voted before should vote. I say revamp the system. And for Trump, I would say I think it's too late. I think it's, and the Democrats are not going to do that because they use the cheating to their advantage. That is I think that's the hallmark of a free and fair democracy, and I think that we've lost that. We wouldn't be having these conversations. We wouldn't have created this rabbit hole for ourselves if the whole system, the system of voting was already in place. So AG Barr is going to investigate voter fraud, not election fraud, prior to the certification in December. The memo added, however, that suspicious, speculative, fanciful, or far-fetched claims should not be a basis of initiating a federal inquiry. Okay. The memo, which cites critics, see as the DOJ wading into the U.S. election, prompted the resignation of Richard Pilger. The guy in charge of all this shit dropped out. The official who oversees voter fraud allegations for the department. President Trump and his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, have repeatedly made broad allegations of voter fraud in a number of states, but have not provided evidence for their claims. Well, let's get the evidence. That's what the attorney general is supposed to do. They work in evidence. They're not the CIA. They don't work in PSYOP. They work in evidence. So let them get the evidence. Trump has filed lawsuits in a number of states that he either lost to former Vice President Joe Biden or is trailing in the vote count as the final ballots are tallied. Biden secured his Electoral College victory over Trump in the 2020 election with his projected win in Pennsylvania and Nevada on Saturday. Biden is leading Trump in Arizona and Georgia, states that he will have flipped Democrat if he's ultimately victorious in them. So there's the big probe. New York Post is reporting, big probe. Here's Fox News. Let's see what the Fox has to say.
Attorney General Barr wants, quote, to appropriately address voting irregularities so that all of the American people, regardless of their preferred...
Okay, so Fox is reporting voting irregularities as opposed to voter fraud. Voting irregularities are good, right? Look at voting irregularities because that encompasses both. But when you say voter fraud, please don't not look at the establishment rigging the machines. Analyze the machines. Look at the software. That's where you'll find the irregularities.
Preferred candidate or party can have full confidence in the results of our elections. Hello and welcome to Fox News at Night. I'm Shannon Bream in Washington. We begin with David Spunt over at the Justice Department and that memo from the Attorney General to his prosecutors. Good evening, David.
Shannon, good evening to you. Despite widespread evidence, the Attorney General put out this memo to prosecutors across the country telling them to look and see if there's not just any but substantial allegations.
Attorney General Bill Barr breaking his post-election silence in a two-page memo, writing, while serious allegations should be handled with great care, specious, speculative, fanciful, or far-fetched claims should not be a basis for initiating federal inquiries. Nothing here should be taken as any indication that the department has concluded that voting irregularities have impacted the outcome of any election.
This is a fraud.
Almost 1 week after the election, and votes are still being counted. Not surprising, as this country saw the largest number of mail-in ballots in its history. The president and his allies continue to use the word fraud.
This election is not over. Far from it. We have only begun the process of obtaining an accurate, honest vote count.
White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany, representing the Trump campaign, claimed without evidence Democrats are, quote, welcoming fraud. But South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham claims he has evidence, a sworn statement of a Pennsylvania postal worker named Richard Hopkins, who alleges ballots were backdated before being put in the mail. Democrats, ready to move past the current president and embrace the president-elect, are furious.
Baseless claims by the president and his supporters that there's been widespread voter fraud and that the election was somehow rigged or stolen from President Trump.
You know how many heads would roll if the government was allowed to tell the truth? You know how many people would go to jail for election fraud, rigging machines? Who's behind it? Yesterday we talked about the three companies that are responsible for holding the elections in this country, three private organizations. You should subpoena them, Mr. Trump. Can't call him president anymore. Mr. Trump, go down there, and while you still have a little bit of authority, why don't you file indictments? Why don't you get AG Barr to file indictments against the three companies that count the vote, and subpoena their records? Right? Why don't you do that? And that's where you'll find the fraud.
That kind of rhetoric is extremely dangerous, extremely poisonous to our democracy.
Not a single one was inspected.
Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani claims Republican observers were blocked from ballot counting rooms, though Fox News confirmed both Democrats and Republicans were allowed inside. The Philadelphia city commissioners who oversee elections shot down Giuliani's claim, writing, "No such thing ever happened. The observers have been in the room since the beginning."
Shannon, just hours ago, the New York Times reported exclusively that Richard Pilger, he is the head of security for the election division at the Department of Justice. The New York Times reporting that he resigned tonight. He was deeply troubled by the Attorney General's memo. Shannon?
Wow. So the Pilgener guy resigned. So that's the whole thing there, right? The Attorney General of the United States of America is saying that we see irregularities and we need to probe. But we're not saying that election fraud occurred. We're not saying anything. We're not, well, he's saying that I didn't see the part where it said voter fraud, but he's saying I guess that was the New York Post spinning it. Maybe I took the bait. But William Barr is saying that there are irregularities, and why shouldn't we look at those irregularities, right? Why shouldn't we look at those irregularities? Right? So, top DOJ voter fraud investigator quits. Good. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Let him get out, right? After AG Barr authorizes probe. So we just heard about that guy. His name is Pigeonler. George Bush.
George W. Bush, the only living former Republican president, has congratulated President-elect Joe Biden on his election win. In a statement, Bush also praised Vice President-elect Kamala Harris for her historic win, becoming the first woman, first black person, and first South Asian to be selected vice president. He said, "The challenges that face our country will demand the best of President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris, and the best of us all. We must come together for the sake of our families and neighbors, and for our nation and its future. We urge all Americans to join us in wishing our next president and vice president well."
Wow, George Bush breaks for Biden. George W. Bush, the young George, has broke for Biden.
Bush has said he did not vote for President Trump in 2016, and the Bush family has clashed with him over the years. On Sunday, though, Bush congratulated President Trump for his hard-fought campaign and called the high voter turnout a positive step for the health of our democracy. President Bush added the election was fundamentally fair and its outcome is clear, but supported President Trump's campaign pursuing recounts if they felt it was necessary. President Trump has yet to concede the election, making a number of unsubstantiated claims about voter fraud in key states like Pennsylvania and Georgia. For Newsy, I'm Bailey Vogt.
So the big Bush. Ooh, wow, that was a surprise. Oh, here's Giuliani. Let's see what he has to say.
Another big story this morning, President Trump's plans to protest the election results. Challenge those results. The president has not acknowledged Biden's win and has not spoken to the public since Thursday. The Trump campaign has repeatedly claimed voter fraud, but has not provided any evidence. The president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, said lawsuits would be brought today.
The first part of a situation that is extremely troubling. First of all, for the state of Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and then for a number of other states. And these lawsuits will be brought starting on Monday.
On Saturday, Biden surpassed 270 Electoral College votes with a win in Pennsylvania as the state counted an unprecedented number of mail-in votes. Top election officials in battleground states.
So just a little more icing on the cake. What else we got? Trump campaign files suits claiming two-tier voting system in Pennsylvania as well. So the Trump campaign filed another lawsuit in the swing state of Pennsylvania on Monday, alleging officials there created an illegal two-tier voting system. Okay, that is election fraud. Trump the campaign filed a lawsuit in Pennsylvania. The state created an illegal two-tier voting system, which unfairly favored mail-in ballots. All right, so is that really election fraud? Because that's what they'll say. That's what the system is. The system, state by state, and this is how we do shit in Pennsylvania. And if you don't like it, don't run for office here. They'll tell you. Right? That's what I'm trying to say about challenging the establishment when they're firmly against you. Right? It's very difficult. Right? That's where Trump is right now. So according to the suit, Democratic-leaning counties gave voters a chance to cure mailed ballots which were defective before Election Day, while Republican counties followed the law and did not provide a notice and cure. All right. Good luck with this rabbit hole. All right. Let's look at the fucking rabbit hole, man. What's a rabbit hole? Rabbit hole. Rabbit hole. What's a rabbit hole? Let's look at some imagery of a rabbit hole. Imagery of a rabbit hole. Oh, man. This is you. This is where you are, right? That's it. This is, I hate to be the dick, right? But if you want a challenge, man, this is where you go, man. You go down the rabbit hole. Let's look at rabbit hole. YouTube. I just want to go to YouTube for a second. YouTube. So anyway, man, there's a great video I wanted of Alice in Wonderland. Alice. Let's ask Alice. Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland. There's a wonderful video that I wanted to see. Vintage. There's a vintage video with the soundtrack. Anyway, man. Don't mind me, man. I'm just having fun today, man. So Marcus Conte reporting. And what I say is that, what do I say today? I don't know what I say today. Today I say that we are living in scary times. We have a situation, for lack of a better term, where an American president has been couped, has been hoodwinked, has been bamboozled by the establishment. I don't think that that's vague or unclear. Because all of these decisions that Trump is talking about, for example, in Pennsylvania, where the system leans towards the challenger, Joe Biden, right? Those are overwhelmingly significant causes that cause an election to swing, right? Those are irregularities. Those are forms of election fraud, and those are not things that are decided by the people. People just receive a ballot and they fill it out. People are told their polling station is open. They go walk online and they vote. The people are inherently good. It's the establishment that's cheating. And then they do it and say, well, this is America, so we represent you and we're doing it in your name. Right? That's what they'll tell you. But they can't get away with it. Are they going to get away with it? I think they're going to get away with it. Oh, man. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Malice in Wonderland. Yes. This is Vinny DiMartini, Pathfinder 12. Thank you very much. Carlito Brigante, Jim Gerard, Vanderloo is here. Thank you, everybody, man. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Someday we're going to be back on the other channel. Someday we're not even going to be here. We're going to be somewhere else. We're going to find a better place to be, man, because there is a better life. There is a better life out there that I am seeking. I'm looking for it. Help me find that better life, please. Help me find a better life for you and yours. Oh, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Help me find that better life, man. Oh, yeah. Thanks, everybody, man.